Well, hello there. Um, Nice to see you again. As you can tell, I'm in a hotel bed, a hospital bed, excuse me. So my last video, I was in Denver or San Diego. Excuse me, I'm heavily medicated, but so yeah, was in San Diego, and that atmospheric river was, bearing down my ass, man. It was right behind me, but I made it to the airport. I had a really rough day, at the Motel 6. I had those fantastic showers, but I couldn't sleep because of the pain. So, you know, by the time I got on the plane to Denver, I'd been up for a couple of days. Uh, then I made it to Denver, and, I was in pretty rough shape. But I remember I met this guy before I got on my flight to Denver. We chatted a little bit, and through that conversation, he ended up offering me a Cuban cigar, and I had to turn it down because I'm like, no, I got stage 4 cancer, man. I can't take it. Sorry. And that's like the third time I've had one offered, and for whatever reason, I didn't take it because I've been saving that moment. Well, the other times they were just too expensive, I think. So this guy was going to give me one. So, but I got on the plane to Denver, and met this nice lady who was sitting beside me. Turns out she was an ICU nurse. She had she got injured on the job. And it really made me think. Marcy got hurt on the job too, and got me thinking. These nurses really they get hurt a lot. Moving these bodies around and transferring bodies to beds and stuff. I mean, I'm like, wow, it's a tough job. So it's just not something you don't really think about. Them getting hurt like that. So, but this young lady, I'll call her Cherie. She something to her elbow, like she separated her elbow. She's had a couple of surgeries, and I'm still in contact with her actually through WhatsApp. But she was really nice, just very open, and we had a great conversation, which took my mind off the pain and got me out beyond the halfway point on the flight because that was when I was going to go stand up and go to the bathroom and stand up for a few minutes, and so she got me beyond that point a little bit. But landed in Denver, the flight was uneventful. Just like walking across the border, nothing really happened. Still can't believe that getting across the border was just so anticlimactic. I was expecting to be held up for a while, and I mean, I was terrified about that whole process, and hopefully that's something I get to talk about later. That burden of being in a country illegal, and kind of measuring it against what's going on here in our country. So, I kind of get it, that fear constantly over, because the cops here are way worse than what's going on in Mexico. They're way more. What's the word? I don't know. Intense. I don't know, man. The cops here are just gung ho, man. But like I said, I got lucky. I prayed for compassion and I got it. But so I get to Denver, and I've flown into Denver quite a few times, so I know my way around a little bit. But I make it over to the train part and get on the train, and I go outside, and I was like, whoa, that's cold. It was, I don't know, it was probably 25, 30 degrees. It's cold, though, to me, because I've kind of acclimated to the La Paz climate. So I get to by about 7:30, man, I was at the hospital. I might have already been checked in. I got in pretty back. I got to the back pretty quick. Yeah, he made some stupid comment at the register. So the fact that I was in Walmart, he's like, he's gonna melt. I guess like the bottom of a snowman. I don't know what. I didn't get the joke. But so Uh, I got checked into the emergency room, and they admitted me a few hours later. Um, I had a bleeding episode in the emergency room. I kind of freaked him out. I was like, oh, it's nothing. I'm used to this. And because it happens to me once a day, at least once a day. So, there was that. And, let's see. LeBron James and Kobe. I guess LeBron's about to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I wonder if he's going to retire afterwards. But so I got into the hospital, and they immediately, took blood. They started doing all these tests on me. I mean, I'm at Denver Health, and I've really been amazed at the care I've gotten here because, a big part of my reason of not coming back was I'd had so many terrible experiences with the healthcare system. But here it's been great. I've got so many doctors that come see me. I don't even know which one's which. There's just these teams of doctors. I had an orthopedic doctor that was coming around. I have a dermatologist doctor. I have an oncology team. I have my general doctor. I'm probably missing one. But let's see, I've done a few CT scans. My pelvis area is pretty screwed up, and I guess my tumor is so big it's grown on the inside where it was. First, it was pressing against my sacrum, and that turned the bone necrotic, so my sacrum has just been kind of breaking away. So I have a couple of fractures there, and I guess it's got into my nerves there. The cancer has got into my spine there in the sacral area. I don't know if it's in the nerves or not, but at least that's what they told me. It was, and there's a big bundle of nerves there, and that my infection had gotten into there. And it's a big, huge. It's as big as my head, and it's pressing in on my bladder and my bowel, and because when I left, I left with fully thinking that the cancer had spread to my bowels or my bladder because of all the pain I'd been having down there. And that wasn't the case. They were able to confirm that it's squamous cell, which I was like, why are you guys confirming that? And they was like, well, it's kind of rare. It's a rare, where you got it, it's even more rare. So, God, I wish I could make up some butt jokes there. So they did confirm that, and they gave me, so far they've given me 4 pints of blood. I guess my hemoglobin was 5 when I showed up. And let's see. So, they have the whole sacral issue, and they did all these scans on me, and my bowel and my bladder aren't working correctly. So they put a catheter in me for a while, which was nice because I was able to really empty my bladder. I filled that bag up like 3 times in the first night, so that was pretty funny. But I was so constipated I didn't poop for 10 days. So I had to do the whole finger thing in my butthole and get up in there and dig the poop out. And it's like digging little rocks out of your ass, man. It's very painful. But my sphincter muscle just is not. I think my thinking is that it's because of the lesion, the tumor that's in there, it's pushed up against my sphincter muscle and it's just not working correctly. So there's all of that, and it's pushing into my back. Then they did a CT scan and they found out that they saw a couple of spots on my lungs, on my lung and my liver. And then they were able to confirm that was cancerous as well. So now I have it in my lungs, in my lung, and my liver. So, but, well, hope that you guys are alright. Don't look like it, huh? Because there's no window busted. Yeah, I'm pretty heavily medicated, so you might see me talking to somebody. Like just right there, I was talking to a trucker that was sitting beside me, so I'm hallucinating a little bit. But, yeah, but I've just had a great a great team around me. I only had one nurse that was kind of bad, and she just, I don't know, she didn't seem to love her job, man. So, uh, but other than that, it's been fantastic. Like I said, they've done all these tests on me, and I've gotten a few pints of blood, which, that made a huge difference from like day one. So, but they've got me on pretty good dosages of morphine. Um, I was on a drip up until yesterday morning, I think, because I was planning on discharging. I was planning on discharging tomorrow, because I've been here about 9 days. But they just were getting me stable. I've had some bleeding incidents here in the hospital. I've traumatized some nurses, because my big bleeds, it's a lot of blood, and sometimes it gets everywhere, and it's kind of funny because I'm like, oh, this is nothing. Like, I bleed like this every day, which is true. So, um, but the colostomy, I really tossed that idea around because my tumor has grown over my butthole. I don't think it's grown into it yet, but everything down there is just painful. I mean, if I get just one turd if there's just one turd in the loading barrel there, it's very painful. I always feel like I have to pee, but I know that's a difference. Different. The colostomy won't have anything to do with that, but at least it'll only be one thing down there, putting pressure on my pelvic area, whatever else is down there. And I do pee, but I don't know, they might hook me up to a catheter again. The point is that it's not working down there, and I really tossed the idea, and that my tumor is so big and it's so susceptible to infection, and when they told me they were going to be able to do chemo for me, or immunotherapy is I think what we're going with because my markers were correct. So I'll be taking pills, but I'm still going to have a lowered immune system. We're talking about feces down there where my big open wound is, and even though I've kept it clean, and I don't think that I can't really tell if my poop has contributed to any of my infections in the past, but it's just not something I can differentiate. But if I do this fully, it'll give my butt time to heal. I have to poop, and it's just painful to wipe. I can't even wipe the normal way. I have to wipe back to front, which I know is probably not the best, but that's the only way I can do it. So I'm thinking I'm going to be going to a ball, a bowling alley, and who knows, maybe I'll buy my own ball because I like to bowl. And see what happens. I told Elena that I'll be here 6 months minimum, so she said she'll wait 2 years, man. I was like, well, that's a very specific amount of time. But they've been taking really good care of me. I take a lot of stool softeners. They got me on a muscle relaxer. I'm taking Cymbalta. I guess for sleep. I'm not sure why they gave me Cymbalta, but when I came in, I told them what I was looking for. I said, I'm just looking to manage my pain. if you guys can run tests and tell me if I have options for treatment, I'm wide open for it. I said, but because I'd been told that I didn't really have any options where I was. So that was why they started running all the tests and everything, and they discovered more cancer. so, but they seem pretty confident they can get the thing on my butt healed up. I have been wearing dressings on it the last few days, which I don't really care for because it's pressure on the wound and it kind of hurts, so especially when the bandages get soaked. But it has been nice to not wake up soaking wet the last few nights. So, but back to the colostomy, I sat there and read about it for like a day and a half, and talked to talked to Elena about it. My nurse actually has one of his best friends has one, so I just tried to get as much information as I could on it. And then I obviously Googled living with a colostomy bag, and I kind of rationalized it down yesterday where it was just for comfort, but I don't know. I don't know that it's just for comfort. It's just my junk isn't working right, man, and it's very painful. And so today I told him I had changed my mind. I was going to go ahead and do the colostomy, and I told Elena the reasons why, and she agreed with me. And because I'm tired of shitting myself. I was laying here today, and they were working on something, and the nurse is like, you have some poop hanging out. And I went, what? Are you serious? And she's like, you can't even feel that, can you? And I'm like, no, I can't, sorry. So, when I do go poop, most of the time it's just out of luck. I feel there's like intense pressure. But the other times it's just kind of luck. I just like, I think maybe there's something down there. And I go sit on the toilet, which even that is painful now. Sitting on the toilet has gotten to the point where it's just incredibly painful and it burns. And so it just led me to rethink my position on the colostomy. And, I know they can be reversed, and I know it's not a guarantee, but I'm pretty young and I'm pretty resilient. At least I think I am. And I think I'll be able to reverse it once it's time. After the chemo, and maybe my butt area has healed up a little bit, can come and get it reversed. But I'm still doing well, and at least I think I am. I mean, I've had some moments where they've come in here and I could see they were concerned. My oxygen levels were low, and I was in rough shape when I showed up here. I was in pretty bad shape, but I made it. I took every bit of ounce of energy I had to get here, but I made it, and I've been true to my word. So I'll try anything, whatever you guys got. I'll try it, man. If you think it'll work, I'll try it. So that's why I've been wearing bandages. But they do get painful, man. Seem to be slipping back. I'm losing all my Spanish I learned. Sorry, I was looking at my hand. But I'm trying to speak Spanish to everybody that comes in the room, so I hope they don't take offense to it. But this colostomy surgery, I know they had said if I decided to do it, that they would do it on this admission. So that's going to push my chemo back a few weeks, because they like to have you fully healed up. So, but once I'm discharged from here, I do have approval for a respite center to stay at for 2 weeks, and I'm scoping out low-income housing, kind of like what I had here before. Before I left to go to Mexico, I had a low-income apartment, but I'm looking around maybe the Littleton area or Eaglewood, because looks like there might be some availability over there. But anyways, I'm looking on the light rail basically, because my doctor said the minimum He's gonna be here minimum 6 months with all this treatment and probably more. So, which really stinks because I want to get back to Elena. And, she asked me to marry her, so and that's kind of my goal is to get healthy and get back and do the whole marriage thing. She might come up here and we might get married. So we kind of mentioned it. So, but we'll see. All right. Well, sorry it's been a few days since I've seen you. Nothing really happened other than me just being in the hospital and getting treatment and trying to get my pain under control, and which has been a struggle. When I had the morphine drip, where you could just press on the button, that was the best because I'm taking these other medicines like these long-acting morphine, and I get shots of Dilaudid like every 2 hours if I want. So, but managing the pain, and I remember early on I told one of the nursing teams, I was like, look, you guys got to change your thinking here. This pain never goes away. It's not something that goes away. It's not going away. So we need to manage my pain and not just try to not think that it's going to go away, and because it's always there, and we need to just establish a baseline of what works to keep my pain at a tolerable level, and use the shots for my breakthrough pains, because sometimes I'll have my normal pain and then I'll have these sharp stabbing like lightning bolts of pain at the top of my wound there where the open hole is, where the open wound is. But, it always hurts. It's always, and they ask the numbers, and I'm like, I'm pretty much always at probably a 7 or an 8. It's always up that high. So just so you know. And I was a 10. I told them I was a 10 when I came in, and now you guys have got me down to a 7. But yesterday, I had a terrible nursing staff, and they let my pain get out of control. Like I went an hour and a half late on medicine, and just so the entire day was spent trying to catch up and get back on top of the pain, and it was just a shitty day, man. So, but I've been sleeping the last few days. I don't know if it's a tramadol or a Cymbalta, but I've been zonking out, man, sleeping pretty good. 4 hours, 5 hours, I don't know. And when I wake up, it's mostly just go pee. I go in the bathroom and I pee and I go straight back to sleep, man. Not in the bathroom, I go back up to my room, but I go back to sleep, and it's great. But it's transitional, so I think they do have long-term apartments as well up on the top floors, but I'm sure they're full. But we'll see. Looks like I'm going to be staying around in Denver for a little while longer. So, talk to you guys later. You know how to reach me. And I'll keep on fighting the good fight, man. I got a lot to live for, and so I'm doing my part, man. I just hope that my body can hang on and get better, and I got a lot of things I want to do, man. Still, so I'm tired of this thing holding me back. So I'm either gonna get better or I'm not. But we'll find out soon enough. I think this immunotherapy is gonna work, man. Targeted cellular or something. I don't know. I've got a big paper on it, so that I was hoping that I would be able to do immunotherapy because it's so much less. It's so much more less invasive. Plus, it's targeted. Whereas the other one is just it just kind of goes in your system and attacks everything all over your body. Whereas they can really target this. At least this is how I've understood it. So, but I suppose I should sign off, and I'll try to stay in touch a little bit better. Don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, if I'm discharging or not. Probably not. If because they wanted to do the surgery here. Like the other day, it was almost like they were pushing it on me, and they're ethically bound to not really. They can't really give me advice, and I don't really have anybody here to give me advice. Like, should I do this or not? This is how I feel about it. And so it's really just my decision, and I hope I'm not fucking it up and making the wrong ones. And I didn't need to have it cost me, and I hope it can be reversed, because I really don't want to have to live like that the rest of my life, carrying a fucking poop bag. So, but it feels like it's the right decision because of all the things that are going on and all the things that are being affected. It's pretty risky, because and I can feel like the tumor is just completely starting to cover my butthole. I mean, it feels like I'm losing more of it day in, day out. Like more of it's disappeared. So I don't know. But I'll be in touch with you guys soon. Sorry, I do have a couple other videos I recorded. I just haven't uploaded them. I haven't even made private the other ones yet. I don't know. I guess I'm too shy or too worried people won't like it or whatever. But that doesn't really matter. I guess I'm just being stupid and perfectionist and want to look at the videos and make sure they look alright and all that crap. So, but we're going to sign off on this one. And I'll make another video tomorrow or the next day. We'll see what happens as far as if I'm being relocated or if I'm going to stay in and do this surgery. We'll find out pretty quickly. Alright, love you, peace out. And I'm still here, man. Take her easy.